The Engineering Change Notices application supports the Tech Services team with the creation and approval of engineering change notices. Available within the Tech Services community on the Hub. Use the Change Notices link in the left-hand menu. To create a new ECN, select the New button, which will open the form. Complete the form, and many of the fields are mandatory as this form will create your change notice documentation. When the form is complete, click Save and the form will close. The newly created change notice will then appear in the list as pending. Reopen the change notice and you will find that the application has created the documents required for your change. By default, the system creates two documents. The change notice, in addition to a risk assessment spreadsheet based upon the latest safety team risk assessment spreadsheet ready for completion. If you have already created a risk assessment spreadsheet, you can easily delete this spreadsheet and attach your previously completed risk assessment. Much of the data for your change notice will already be pre-populated. To finalize your documents, click on the links at the bottom of the form and the files will open in the browser. To edit them more easily, you should click Open in Desktop App at the top of the file, and this will open the files in the appropriate Office application so you can add the required details to your change notice or risk assessment documentation. When you have finalized your change notice documents and attached any additional files required, such as drawings or technical documents, use the Request Approval link to start the approval process. Approval requires endorsement and approval. In the workflow window that opens, nominate the endorser and approver for the change notice and click Run Flow, which will start the electronic approval. Both the endorser and approver will then receive an approval request by email. The request will include a link to the ECN record, including all the attached documents. The endorser and approver should approve or reject the change and should include a comment, as all this information is added to the audit trail for change and forwarded to the change owner via email. If the change is rejected, include a comment saying why it is rejected so that the change owner can take corrective action and submit the request again. When the change is approved, the system will convert the change notice to PDF format, add all the documents to the approved notices library. The change owner will be notified of all approval activity by email.